with who's like also
not this lore before we get to the party.
Why has it taken so long?
Now that I'm back home, let me give you a rundown of how this night completely unraveled and came together. So boom, I'm working. It's Wednesday. It's been a really hectic work day, full of meetings and escalations and stuff. So I'm on the phone with my sister. I have some plans after work to go to this networking event for like pre-culturecon activities. So whatever, I'm doing it. I get a message from my friend who's like, hey, did you see this email? Did you see this invitation come through for culturecon of this like Stevie Wonder celebration event with Questlove and Janelle Monáe? And I'm looking, I'm scrolling, I'm like, I don't see no email, I don't see anything. And she ends up calling me and she's like, oh, if you don't see it, I can add you as my +1. And I'm like, yes, add me, absolutely. Is this at the same time as the other social event that I'm going to? Sort of. Am I gonna blow off that event? Absolutely. Because again, it's Questlove and Janelle Monáe. So yeah, it's also the Standard. And it's like, okay, I've never been there, whatever. Hold on to that. Anyways, I decided to go, and I'm like, cool, I have a couple hours, finishing up work and stuff, so I'm not really stressed about it. She then calls me like back and it's like, hey, I had dinner plans and a spot opened up, someone can come. It's at Tatiana. What? It's at Tatiana, which I have been trying to get to, not really trying, but like I would have loved to go to Tatiana because I heard so many great things about it. It's like a Michelin star restaurant, it's Black owned. It's all the way in the Upper West Side though. And it's gonna take me about an hour to get there from my house. I was initially planning on driving into the city, but I can't drive to Upper West Side from my house and get there in time for this reservation. Mind you, it's gonna take me an hour to get there, and I have an hour before I have to leave if I'm gonna make the reservation on time. And I said to myself, come hella high water, I'm getting to Tatiana. So, and you know, a bit of a miracle and testament to my willpower, I ended up getting to the restaurant on time. Figuring out a whole outfit. I didn't have no makeup on, anything like that. I like rushed it all, get it done in an hour, left on time, got there on time, and it was a group of us. It's so funny. There were like 6 of us there, and Tatiana's place is like you share a bunch of, you share the dishes, and so it was cool. It was a really nice time, really good company. The food was really good, but we didn't order enough food, so I don't think I got like a ton of great footage of it. I didn't even bother showing my plate because the way we sort of like we're cutting up the small plates and then the bigger plates, it was it's not cute. We were really trying to like make sure everyone got a piece of everything, but we should have ordered like more. We should have ordered more, but it was like a scoop of rice and like a portion of the fried branzino, which was amazing. And I have to go back because the food was really good. But I definitely think if you're gonna go with 6 people, be prepared to spend a lot. Like you're gonna like need to get a lot of dishes. It's probably like if you're gonna share, it's probably better to go with like 2 to 3 people if you're gonna split it, unless you're prepared to like spend buku money. Anyways, whatever.
someone you really get along with who's like also willing to commit TikTok. I was ahead of the trend now. No, they have my bar. Yeah. And I was like,
is honestly, I couldn't even imagine it. Somehow a very busy work day that was supposed to end in a networking event turned into a dinner reservation at Tatiana and a party at the boom room. Why can't I say that right? Anyways, hi. How did you like Tatiana?
Tatiana was great. The food was great, but the company was even better. So,
what was your favorite meal?
the curry goat patties.
Those are really
My favorite,
good.
yeah. With the chutney.
That chutney was so good.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. Huge
My
fan.
God. Big chutney lovers, and the patties were great, but not my personal favorite. I would say my personal favorite was probably the egusi dumplings. I don't think I'm holding it right, but probably the egusi dumplings and the rack of lamb.
Yeah.
No, the fried branzino.
Oh yeah.
The fried branzino is amazing with the sauce. It was a nice time and the evening was really great, and I wasn't sure if we were gonna get to the it was an event that the culturecon event, but it was an event hosted with Audible. So I wasn't sure if we were gonna get there on time. So we ended up like leaving a little after the time the party started. So I was like, you know what, it's fine. Tatiana was great. And we'll just see if we can get in when we get there. We take a Lyft, we take like a little Uber down to the Standard and Meatpacking District. And I had never been there before, so we just walked up. It's cool. We check in. We get into the elevator. It feels real luxe. It's dark. It's like, I don't really know what to expect in this building. The elevator attendant, he's cool black man, awesome. He's like, hey, I don't know. It's like he says that he was like, I don't know if you know, like if you heard about that Beyonce lyric, $1 billion in the elevator. He was like, this was the location where Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Solange got to that fight. I was like, is this the elevator? It wasn't the exact elevator we were in, but it was the building. And I was like, oh, not this lore before we get to the party about Beyonce. I was hooked. And honestly, that should have been like a sign of the goodness that was to come for the night. So we get in there, it's like we walk off the elevator, it's like plush carpets. And I had heard of the Standard, and I wondered if it was like the location where I heard there was like a bathroom that had like a portion of like one wall was a window with the skyline view. And sure enough, it was. We ended up going to the bathroom, we were like, it was giving funhouse vibes. We get inside like an actual stall, and we have this wall that's a view of the city. You can see into the Live Nation building as I'm using the bathroom. It's very interesting. But super great experience for sure. And we get out there and it's like real chill. Like the space is a really beautiful space. I really love the design, and the architecture is really like mauve-y and like blush and pink, and it's just really interesting design. And it's cool, we're having a good time. They're passing around, like I had some champagne, and we're just talking and just excited to be there. Just a couple girls excited to be there. Questlove is DJing once we get in, and it's cool, and we're just chilling. I think like an hour or two goes by. It's like close to like, it's like 9 or something when we end up like talking to this guy, and he's like from DC, and he's like, first off, let me say, I was also wondering, I was like, Questlove was there, but I didn't see Janelle Monáe, and I was like, is Janelle Monáe gonna be here? We end up talking to this guy. He's from DC. He's visiting for like the evening, the night, I don't know. And he's like, I'm from DC. I come back and forth a lot, do a lot of business. And he was like, oh, it was like, I heard that like the first lady's team told me she was coming. And so I'm thinking that he's using a euphemism to talk about Janelle Monáe. Like, he's a huge Janelle Monáe fan. He's like created this nickname for her. And it's like, oh, she's a first lady, duh. Baby. He meant the first lady. Michelle Obama. Questlove starts doing he like starts thinking everyone is great. He's like, oh, I have a special guest. To like bring in. Everyone, please like clap, raise your hands for like Michelle Obama. Literally, a moment of silence, please. A moment of silence. In life will probably be more excited to meet Michelle Obama and be around Michelle Obama than I am to meet Barack Obama, to be honest. So to even think and fathom that I'd be in the same room as Michelle Obama, who would have thunk it? Who would have thought? It's insane. Honestly, I'm thinking about it, like, it's insane. But she was there and she was talking about the project that, like, the whole reason why we were all there, which was this Stevie Wonder podcast that's like coming out on Audible. And I think like she was sort of involved in producing it, and like the host of the show was there, and like it's included a bunch of like folks, you know, who, because they're part of the music industry, who are being interviewed in that podcast. I don't know, to be honest, all that's going on, but I know that Michelle Obama was there and she was talking. I could hear her. I couldn't see her though, because little old 5'3" me is in the back of the room behind a pillar, so that's not that great, and nothing's working. But I ended up my friend ended up asking another guy who had a really great footage, and he ended up airdropping it to her phone. She's gonna send it to me. I'm gonna upload it here, even though I have no storage on my phone anymore. It was an interesting night for that. Anyways, Michelle Obama is here. And then she talked, and she's amazing.
Music and all of that. Hello. So he's the originator of hope. And we had the pleasure of doing a little FaceTime with Stevie before we came on board, came out here tonight. He is a beautiful spirit, but he is truly a genius. And the fact that he is still alive when we can give him his flowers, and the fact that this is one of the few fulsome documentaries of his life and career, that's also saying something a little fishy. You know, I mean, why has it taken so long to really break down this man's track record? I mean, 5 amazing albums in 5 short years. I mean, he was just spitting out hits after hit after hit. Because he also appears in the last episode, his interview with Wesley and Barack. So it's this 3-way conversation that is really beautiful. So it is, as you can see, I am in love with Stevie, but I'm in love with this journey that the wonder of Stevie will take you on. And that's why I'm here. So I want you to share it with everybody you know. Oh, and another thing, while we're talking about spirituality and purpose, I want y'all to vote. You're listening to Stevie and you understand that a lot of what he was fighting against, we are still fighting against. And that music is about change, culture is about change, it's not just about a bunch of lights, it's about moving people to something better. And you all have the responsibility, just as Stevie did, to use your platforms for something really big. This is one thing, but there's something bigger coming up in a few weeks. I hope that you all are all focused.
Yes, ma'am.
In the next couple of weeks.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely matter. So with that, I will turn it back over to my brother, and you guys have a wonderful evening.
And she ends up leaving. And as she leaves, Janelle Monáe joins and starts DJing. And I'm like, this is great. We end up making our way like towards the DJ booth. It's so packed. And I, again, am short, so all the people that are around me are like, it's all like super congested and tight, and it's like, oh, we're trying to make our way forward. Baby. I went from being huddled in around folks to by the end of her set, breathing her air. I could have made a DJ request. That's how close I was. Psst, psst, psst. Play this, da da da. I was right in front of Janelle Monáe. Insane! It just dancing. Just having a good time. Now, their record, it's so iconic when you're mixing your own music and also performing it at the same time. That's insane. Again, I had went to like their tour they did last year, but it was like going to the tour again when they started performing Float. They started performing Champagne Taste or Champagne whatever that song is. It
Change, nigga. I'm counting my blessings. We ain't stressing, just sitting this flow. I got that magic. I'm really performing whatever we neighbors. So you want the smoke?
It was a great night. It was a great night. I'm interslicing, I already know, I'm interslicing moments from the evening in this video because this needs to live on in infamy this evening. This is a random Wednesday night. Michelle Obama. The Boom Boom Room. Wow, okay. Clearly, I have some processing to do, so I'm gonna end this video here. I hope you all are having a great weekend. I'm gonna see you in the next video where we actually attend culturecon. Okay, bye. Jumping in again to quickly add, my friend has no idea how she ended up on this guest list for this event because none of the other folks who have VIP tickets to culturecon or attended, like, I think she went to like another culturecon event on Sunday, but she said she didn't see anyone who was at that event at the Audible event. And I didn't get an email. No one got an email. So I don't know what sort of specialty list she's on, but she needs to stay there. And I hope they continue to invite her wherever, because this was like, this was insane. Thank you for inviting me, if you're watching this.